All right, guys, so here we go. Here is February and March pickup that I'm sort of holding on to. This is gonna be more everything that I'm collecting, stuff I want to keep, stuff I think is cool, stuff I've always wanted, just sort of that thing. This isn't really stuff I'm planning on getting rid of. I don't have much, but I've got a few cool pieces. So here we go. I'm just gonna pick it up and show you guys. I don't have anything special. You guys have seen this all. You know exactly what everything is, so there's no reason to try and go through piece by piece. I'll just pull it up and show you guys. So first thing I ended up sort of getting this month, a Game Boy player for the GameCube and a disc. Did not come with a manual, but the Game Boy player itself, pretty nice. Small little scratch right there. Nothing too major. All real good. I found this at the local flea market, so this was not an online order. This was at the flea market. Same guy I've been going to. I've been trying to watch like some of the little things he has, trying to peek in the corner here and there. I'm going, hey, you know, what's that? What are you doing with that over there? This was one of those pieces. He said he had somebody that was supposed to be coming to get it. Didn't call back, didn't show back up. He said 150 bucks for it to that guy. He's like, I'll let you have it for 100 bucks. I was like, you know, that sounds like a pretty decent deal. Most of these online are going anywhere between 150 and like 200 bucks. Even higher, obviously, if they're in a package, closed package, sealed and all that. But I didn't feel like I did too bad for 100 bucks. So I'm pretty glad I got that. Let's stick with some GameCube stuff. So, GameCube memory card. Nothing real special, but the last one I bought, I ended up ordering offline. And it was like 16 bucks. So, you know, that wasn't too bad. That came with the Wavebirds, the 22 games, and the GameCube that I bought in Albuquerque. So I figured I'd keep it for myself. It wasn't something real big to try and sell. You always sort of need another memory card. And I plan on playing my GameCube more and more as time goes on. There's a few games I've started playing already, but you know, so I may end up needing this. Let's stick with GameCube stuff. I don't want to show this other stuff yet, because there's a little story behind it. Spyro Enter the Dragon was a game I ended up picking up with that Albuquerque collection. Since it's so cheap, I don't feel like I really need to sell it. I played Spyro a lot on PlayStation with my brother, so it's sort of a nostalgic deal to me. Madden 07. Funny story, this was the only sports game I ever owned, but I actually owned it on PS2. The reason I ended up getting this, I actually got this and two other games, not for the game themselves, but for the case. They were $5, and a replacement GameCube case is about 14 bucks before shipping on eBay, and I picked this up locally. So what I actually ended up doing was taking Madden 05 and switching the case with another game that I have that the case ended up being cracked and broken on. So I changed the game that might have been about $60 with a bad case up to $70, $75 with a good case. So Madden, not a game I really want to play, but the fact that I have it is literally to replace the case on something else. Same thing with this one. Cabela's Big Game Hunter. I ended up playing, you know, a few different Big Game Hunters and Cabela games as, you know, I was growing up on PlayStation 2 and GameCube. Yeah, I was one of those people that actually rented this game at Blockbuster and played it. It was just sort of interesting to me. But again, I got this one for the case, another $5 game. Just didn't want to pay the prices on other stuff that if I end up needing a case, here's a good case. Ditched the game and the cover art for $5 online, got my money back. So I'm not too worried about that. The next two games are games that I spent actually quite a bit of time playing, both on GameCube and PlayStation 2. and that is Splinter Cell and Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. I spent a lot of time on both of these games. For the time being back then, those were some of the most fun games you could sort of play. They were long, they were sort of drawn out, at least for me anyway. I have a short attention span, so they were games that, you know, for some reason ended up involving me just entirely, and I loved those games. This is another big game for me. I'm a car nut. As you can see, if you know what this is from, good for you. If you know the actual hoodie I'm wearing, even better. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. I've never played the first one that was on PlayStation, but I played this one a lot. I played Underground a lot and Underground 2 a lot. Those are two more games that I would love to have for my collection. I tried to replay this and it was actually pretty terrible. Another $5 video game for the collection. It sort of stinks that it's a player's choice, but here's what I think I'm going to end up doing overall, and I'll probably end up spending twice as much money doing this, but it doesn't really matter. It is sort of what it is. I think I'm going to end up collecting a bunch of my favorite games, player's choice and Black Label. So I've sort of started collecting both, but this is going to end up being one of my definite player's choices ones. One of my other player's choice games that I don't have here, because obviously this is sort of February, March collecting, is Animal Crossing. And I have my second copy right here, another player's choice. That's going to end up being up on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Hit me up if you guys want it. But yeah, so I'll end up having 2 stacks of games. I'll end up having player's choice games and Black Label games. So I've got 3 games for the GameCube left here. One of the bigger ones. One of the bigger ones. Mario Kart Double Dash. I had this with my original GameCube, and you know, there's a reason this one's selling for so much at the moment. This was one of the greatest Mario games, one of the greatest GameCube games. I went back and started playing it, and I only meant to play it for maybe about 5 minutes. I ended up playing this for about an hour and a half, playing quite a few different 50cc series and playing a 150cc series. I love Double Dash, especially when you get to play with some friends. It's just absolutely amazing. I didn't play some of the other Mario Karts as much. I played Mario Kart 64 a little bit here and there with some people. But this was one that I spent a lot of time on myself playing and trying to go through and beat. I have 2 more games. These games I remember seeing in Blockbuster. I remember seeing them on the shelf. I always remember they were games that I sort of wanted to buy back then, but wasn't so diehard into some of this stuff that I felt like I had to have it or need it or play it. I was always into racing stuff, so the racing games were what I was after back then. But now that I didn't get to play these games and they're so expensive, I found some really good deals on these. And again, Mario Kart I ended up finding a deal on also. I can't pay top dollar retail for anything. That's just sort of how I am. So I ended up getting a pretty good deal on Mario Kart Double Dash. I believe about $20 off retail. And on these next 2, I ended up paying about half of retail and their Black Label games. So I was pretty happy. Now, Mario Kart Double Dash, I did order. Need for Speed, I did order. The Splinter Cells, the Big Game Hunter, and Madden, I did all find at the flea market. And he had a Double Dash, but it wasn't in the best shape. This one was actually in pretty decent shape all around. So I don't feel like I did too bad on it. And again, not too bad on Need for Speed for $5. Decent case, decent, you know, the game's not scratched. So moving on to the next 2 games. One of these I didn't think I was actually gonna buy because it's actually on Nintendo Switch and I have it on Nintendo Switch. But I figured for my collection that I would really like to have it because it's gonna look good. And a bunch of other people have it and I wanna play it on the original system. And that is, if you haven't already guessed, Super Mario Sunshine. I remember this coming out, and I just remember going, sort of why? Why do I want to run around with a water gun? when I had Double Dash. That was a racing game. I wanted to play racing games, but now that this is such a big deal, I'm sorry to be that way, but part of it was for the collection, and now that I have it, I think I'm gonna go through and play it. I'm gonna play it on Gamecube. I'm not gonna play it on my Nintendo Switch. We'll just sort of go in here since it's close. I have the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, so Nintendo 64, GameCube, and the Wii. For Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. I spent a little time playing Mario 64 and Galaxy now. I held off playing it on the Switch for Super Mario Sunshine because I had a small feeling I would end up trying to collect it, and I did. So I haven't got into playing it on the GameCube yet, but I will. And the last one is, and I remember there being such sort of a controversy about this because you guys might remember it was supposed to cause epilepsy and supposed to be pretty scary, blah, blah, blah. Luigi's Mansion, the original, the first one, Black Label game, good. Again, all these are complete. I don't, I'm collecting these, so I don't want one that doesn't have everything with it. And this one was actually sort of funny. It came with the Animal Crossing in it. I was a big fan of Animal Crossing. If I wasn't playing a racing game, I was playing Animal Crossing. I can't help myself, I'm sorry. But Luigi's Mansion. I plan on playing this. I don't know when. I really want to sit down and try and enjoy it for all that it's worth. I hear great things all the time about this game. And that's why it's worth, a few dollars now, is because it was such a good game. So far, this is what I picked up for February, March. Oh, I've got one other thing that I ended up picking up at the flea market, and that was an Spice Orange GameCube controller. I have a Spice Orange GameCube that's been region modded to play USA games. That's what I play everything on. So I wanted another controller because now I have two Spice Orange just to add into the collection. And I got a really good deal on this. Most of these on eBay are going for about 60, 65 bucks. This one was pretty clean. I cleaned it up after I got it. And so the stick, they all work. Everything looks pretty good. $30. $30. I bought a few things that day. One of the other things I ended up buying that day was the Game Boy player, and I actually bought a Switch game. So I wasn't allowed to play these games when I was young. Demonic reasons, I guess, but the Pokemon games. So he had Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I started playing Pokemon Let's Go a few months ago. I know I'm about 5 years behind, but that ends up being sort of how I do things. I'm either way behind or I'm a little early on some stuff, and most stuff I'm a few years behind. So the last few things, and if you haven't seen it, I have Pokemon Blue for Game Boy. I have a very, very, very nice Atomic Purple Game Boy. And then I ended up getting a Game Boy Advance SP. That way I could play some of these without screwing up my Game Boy Color, the Atomic Purple one. My next idea is to probably get another Game Boy Color and maybe do a mod so I can play the Game Boy Color. I like the Game Boy Color, the way it feels. But what I have, besides Blue, is what I picked up this month is Pokemon Yellow. Very nice, very clean. I ended up spending, I think, $30 on this. They were retailing for about $50 around the time I got it. I was very happy to find one for $30. It already had the battery replaced. This one I didn't do quite so good on is Pokemon Crystal. Again, very clean, very nice. I changed the battery in it. It wasn't that terrible. These are retailing for about $100 at the moment when I was looking for these. I wanted one again so bad because I never got to play these games when I was a kid. So I'm starting to go through and play these now. I got an okay deal on this one. It was $80. This and Pokemon Yellow were not local. I ended up ordering those. And I have a hard time with ordering stuff because everything I would like to have would be, I would like to find locally. That way, I don't feel like I'm cheating. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit ordering stuff. Maybe you guys feel differently. If it's something you know you really want, and order it. It's a good price. It's not that big a deal. Tell me sort of what you guys think, what you feel. If ordering games is a bad idea, wait till you sort of find it. But I really want to try and find stuff that's super, super clean. In these games, both sides, super clean. And I have some other stuff that's on order that I'll end up showing you guys to wrap up March. But I really wanted to get in and sort of just show you guys everything that I have. Like I said, I picked up 4 wave birds with what I picked up earlier over the weekend. And so I'm gonna end up keeping 2 of them for myself. So again, I'm just trying to collect some stuff for myself. This is my sort of little cheap collection, buying, selling, flipping to try and make sure that I can get the best deal on stuff for myself that I possibly can. If you guys want to keep watching, please keep watching. I'll make sure to update you guys on everything that I get by the end of the month. I've got a few cool things that I end up wanting to get. I'll go back through and make sure that I sort of show you guys everything. I think I left out a couple of things. But I'll wait till the last piece comes in for all that. Maybe I'll show that all and we'll sort of go over everything. If you guys think I'm missing something, please write a comment. There's a few things I'm still looking for GameCube stuff, but not much. Just sort of going piece by piece. There's gonna end up being some Nintendo Switch stuff I'd like to end up collecting. I think that's sort of where we're at, guys. So if you end up liking anything that I picked up, leave me a comment. I don't want to ask you guys to like and subscribe. That's sort of all on you guys. I hope that maybe at some point when I end up doing pretty well, that you guys will just end up deciding to do that all on your own. So I'm not too worried about any of it. You guys let me know what you think on my small GameCube collection. And probably at the end of the March, I'll show you guys again everything that I have. Because I have a couple small things coming in that I think you know, are pretty cool. I think are pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys.